Hello, and welcome back to the Reactivist podcast. I'm Marlena Shivo. So I'm feeling a little out of the loop these days because I was in Vegas for a good stretch for the majority of last week. And I love that phrase, what happens in Vegas stays in Vegas. I don't think we can say that anymore because now it's what happens in Vegas gets videoed and photographed and then posted on social media and lives on for an eternity for everyone to see. But Vegas really is the land where time stands still. And I'm not mad at it. It was nice to get away, but I definitely missed quite a few things that went on in the world, which also is not the worst thing on the planet. Although I'm a little behind the mark here with the Marjorie Taylor Greene AOC dispute, which everybody was calling a catfight, but it really was overplayed. I have to say, though, it was still enjoyable. It's such a funny thing to see two generations go at it and how differently they go at it, right? You have AOC, who is of the woke era, and you have Marjorie Taylor Greene, who is not of the woke era. And their demeanor says everything. You know, AOC is like a toddler. Take it back, Marjorie. Take it back. Take back what you said about her eyelashes. Okay? You need to take it back. We need to strike from the record what Marjorie Taylor Greene said about Jasmine's eyelashes. Okay? So take it back. Marjorie Taylor Greene, unmoved. Yeah, sure, strike my words, but not going to apologize. Well, then it doesn't count. Then it doesn't count, Marjorie. Nobody cares, AOC. Go back to Romper Room where you belong. Marjorie Taylor Greene says, why don't you debate me? To AOC. And AOC's nothing burger of a response was, I think we know why. And of course, that opened up Marjorie Taylor Greene to say the most obvious thing that everybody's thinking, which is, you're not intelligent enough. This is one of those things where you can put politics aside and say, thank God for someone like Marjorie Taylor Greene. Unapologetic, exhausted, bored by people like AOC. You're not intelligent enough. No truer words spoken in Congress. Everybody has to stand on ceremony when they're in an environment like Congress, right? But it's kind of like SNL when they sort of break character and start cracking up when they're not supposed to. That's what this reminded me of. Marjorie Taylor Greene's like, yeah, let's cut the shit. AOC, you're not smart enough. Nobody cares what you have to say. Sure, strike my words. I'm not apologizing. Anything else? Don't make me like you, Marjorie Taylor Greene. Speaking of liking people from different sides of the aisle, my boy, Bill Maher, was in New York this week making the media rounds, promoting his new book, and went on Greg Gutfeld's show and made it very clear that we don't have to agree politically in order to be human toward one another. We can be friends. I've been saying this for years, but his reach is further, way further than my reach. But it's so true. It's so basic and so true, but so many people don't understand it, especially the generation that falls under AOC. They don't understand that we can disagree on who we're going to vote for or what issues speak to us, but that doesn't mean we can't break bread and we can't go and hang out somewhere and have fun and talk and do things together. Somewhere along the line in politics, humanity has taken a back seat. Actually, not even a back seat. It's in the trunk. Actually, it's not even in the trunk. It's hitched to the back in a U-Haul, dangling by a very weak chain link these days. People on social media obviously feel like they have free reign to say whatever they want, but most people don't know what they're talking about, which is a huge problem, which is why we are where we are in this country. People are just voting based on their feelings, which is something else Marjorie Greene said. I'm sorry. Did that hurt your feelings, AOC? It's so true. It's so true. Get out of the sandbox, AOC. Nobody cares. And speaking of someone who doesn't care what people say, Donald Trump is back in the news. Actually, I don't think I should say back in the news. He never leaves the news. The latest in his many legal battles is that the case in Florida, the federal case regarding the classified documents, that trial postponed indefinitely, which is an interesting factor here. Will it ever come to trial? Who knows? But it doesn't look like it will come to be before the November election. In the unsealed filings for this case, it was revealed that the judge questioned how Donald Trump was unaware that there were classified documents in his bedroom. How could he possibly not notice? And I think that is one of the easiest questions to answer, which is, you're assuming that Melania lets him into his own bedroom. Duh. This coming in just as his New York hush money trial is wrapping up, the biggest waste of time for everyone involved, even the rest of us who aren't involved. But who didn't know that? Who didn't know that? I guess Alvin Bragg didn't know that. I guess the district attorney and the prosecutors thought that Michael Cohen was going to be an ace in the hole. But he's just an a-hole. Blatantly said that he committed a crime of grand larceny. He stole from his clients, one of them being Donald Trump. How can you accuse anyone, Donald Trump, Donald Duck, I don't care, anyone, of knowingly signing a document that was falsified if his own lawyer was the one who made him sign it? I mean, did anybody ever think that Michael Cohen was somehow going to put the nail in the coffin for Donald Trump? He put the nail in the coffin for himself. Giant fail on the DA's part. Giant fail from the beginning, and everybody knew it, and now it's just been proven. Donald Trump is invincible. I don't care how you feel about him. The man is invincible. It's like no matter how many bullets you aim at Donald Trump, somehow this man is ironclad. But what I was starting to talk about is that he doesn't care about what people think, and he shouldn't, and no one should care about what people think. Again, let's take the politics away from Donald Trump. Let's strip him down. Let's do a little psychology here. He never apologizes. Just like Marjorie Taylor Greene, Donald Trump never apologizes for anything he does or says. He lives his life unapologetically, which I think everyone should do. People say that he doesn't live in this reality, or in reality, he's not a realist and he's in his own world. I beg to differ. I think he's very much in tune with what's going on. He just somehow knows how to bob and weave better than most of us. You can call it privilege, you can call it power, but I don't think that he is unrealistic. And I feel like he just tunes out all the noise and plows forward, which is exactly what people should do, regardless of their station in life. I don't mean with disregard to other human beings. I just mean people are so hung up on what people are saying, what people are doing, what people are thinking about them. And it's such a waste of time. I got that memo a long time ago, and I'm handing it off to all of you. Stop thinking about what other people are saying, because if you let it get to you, it will hold you back. And as you can see in the case of Donald Trump, nothing holds that man back. You can call him anything you want to call him. You can accuse him of anything you want to accuse him of. You can feed him his own words and question him on them, even if he's wrong, if he got something wrong, if he's misinformed, if he's blatantly making things up or embellishing on something. You could say, look, see, time has passed and this thing that you said is not true. So what do you have to say to that? And The man has an answer for everything, and he just keeps going. And clearly, it's working for him. You know what isn't working is Joe Biden's mouth, and quite possibly Joe Biden's mind. Another thing that happened while I was gone, or while I was coming back, was Joe Biden gave a speech in Detroit, and he said the following sentence, which was, "When I was VP during the pandemic, Barack Obama told me, go to Detroit," etc., etc., etc. And he didn't correct himself because I don't think he realized he made a mistake. Now, of course, the White House brushed this off like a nothing. They brushed it off like it was nothing. He probably misspoke. He really meant to say recession, but he never went back and said recession. So I guess that kind of cures the rumors that go around about Biden that someone's in his ear coaching him, because if they were, he would have corrected himself. So maybe he's not so much the puppet. Or maybe he is still a puppet, but someone cut the strings and just let him loose. And it's not working. Let's see, what else happened this week that I forgot about or missed? Oh, I missed Eric Adams saying that all the migrants should become lifeguards because clearly they know how to swim. Could you imagine? Like, how has Eric Adams not been canceled? Now, not that I'm a fan of cancel culture, but that's amazing that he's allowed to say that all the migrants can clearly swim, so they should be lifeguards. You know, if a comedian had said that, oh my God, he'd be on an apology tour, or she'd be on an apology tour. She'd be in Hawaii, or he'd be in Hawaii with Roseanne Barr, barred for life. Not Eric Adams. Then there's the Supreme Court. Who could not talk about the Supreme Court and Samuel Alito saying that the president should have immunity and should be able to commit federal crimes while in office in an effort to save democracy. Huh? And in other news, Rudy Giuliani got fired from his radio gig at WABC. It's kind of funny and ironic. Rudy Giuliani doesn't even have a face for radio.